You're listening to Scare Point. I'm Craig the Crypt Lewis. Say your name.
You're sick.
That's not your name.
I'm Nathan Capisser.
Good.
What do you want with me? Let me go.
I want you to do this podcast.
But podcasts are so boring.
That's not relevant.
Neither is anything we talk about.
We do it for them.
You're a monster. You're sick. You need help.
You're a bitch. Now sit
Ouch.
there.
You
I
took
went
it-
through all this trouble to
took it
tie
too
you
far.
up.
You took it too far, man. That's ow, dude. Come on. I'm a bitch? I'm a bitch now?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Jesus,
you are
dude.
crying like a bitch.
You've got me tied up and and you've been torturing me for weeks.
So?
I haven't eaten in days. And the
well,
last time I did eat, it was dead rats.
There's some Necco wafers up on the shelf over there.
I can't get to them.
I guess that seems like a you problem.
You've sawed off my feet and bound my hands.
I didn't saw off your feet. I just gave you the saw and said...
Same difference.
Okay, so if you couldn't tell by the sound quality here, if there's an echo or anything like that, we are in my dungeon. It's normally used as a sex dungeon, but...
Welcome to Scare Point. Ladies, gentlemen, it's October. It's fall, my favorite
that time
season.
of year.
Fairpoint is going
Halloween
Scare Point.
Season.
All month long, we're looking at horror icons.
From?
This year it's going to be the 80s.
Yeah, we actually didn't intend on doing that. We just wanted to do horror icons in general.
Today we're looking at Freddy Krueger.
The man, the nightmare, the legend.
Yes, sure, all three of those things. We're going to get to that in a little bit, as usual. If you don't want to hear us bullshit, just go ahead and fast forward till you hear the
I honestly don't
topic
see
theme.
why they wouldn't want to.
I know, right? Then why are
We
you
are
picked
so
the wrong
interesting.
podcast? Yeah.
No, I mean, like, I'm a super modest guy, but we're like the most interesting people on podcasting right now.
Grand Theft Auto's out. Have you played Grand Theft Auto yet, Craig?
I have not played Grand Theft Auto. I should drop this note. I'm not really a fan of the franchise.
Oh. I haven't played it yet either. We're just going to talk about it anyway.
I understand why everybody likes it. It's just not really my thing. I get bored after about 30 minutes, and all I really want to do is play with the cheat codes.
Yeah, that's the best part. This is the first time I've ever been thoroughly interested in the story and the characters, though.
I'll give it that. The commercials make it seem like there's a good story to it. And they did wasn't it a record for opening day sales? It was like 800 million. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I picked the wrong industry to work in. All I had to do was be a rock star video designer.
Well, yeah, it's not. I don't know if it's like that simple. Like, damn, if only I put in an application.
I just make it. All it is one little choice I make when I'm 18.
Do you guys have any applications? Excuse me?
Choice.
Applications for
At age
employment.
18.
This is Rockstar Video Games, right? We don't. That's not how our employment process works.
Well, see, what is your degree,
damn.
sir?
Do you guys drug test?
Yes, we do drug test, but we will tell you when it's coming up, so you can get it out of your system.
You have no idea how many times people come in to my place of work and ask for applications
And then ask if they
go,
drug
do you
test?
guys do drug tests?
Really, guy?
No,
Really,
we
guy?
don't. We don't need to because you just failed right there. Thank you for your application,
You saved
sir.
us about
We'll call you.
$100, so thank you.
Well, Grand Theft Auto, man, I'm so excited to play this. It looks so dope. I'm sure you've heard how big it is. It's bigger than San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto 4, and Red Dead Redemption, all three combined.
Combined? It's
Yes.
bigger than all of them?
Yes.
So it's just very massive. And
Yes. There's three different characters you can play that actually look pretty intriguing. There was a bunch of interesting things that happened on release night, too. Apparently, there were these three guys, these college students, that went as far as buying a former police car at a police auction.
Okay.
Getting
I'm
entire
interested now.
outfits, posing as police officers, going into a mall and into GameStop to get themselves in before they had opened their doors for the midnight release.
Right.
So they bought their copy under the pretense that they were police officers, left, were so excited that they ran a few stop signs and got pulled over by the police. And that's when they fucking got in trouble.
Oh, well, yeah, they're impersonating a police officer.
If they had just drove home, they would have been like, dude, they would have got away with it. If they had just stopped at the fucking stop signs,
just follow the law,
chilled the fuck out.
So they pulled this. They pulled this rather large ruse to get their game early.
Yeah.
Like, how did it work? Did they go in there like, I'm a cop and I need the pre-release early? So,
I don't know.
Do you want
what
me
did
to
they
arrest
say?
you now, or?
I'm sure they just kind of like knocked on the door and they opened up the door because they were police officers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you gonna not go and be like, we open in an hour? You know, and then they were like, hey guys, I don't know what they said. They were like, look, we got a busy night ahead of us.
We're cops. We don't want to sit in line.
We were gonna get in line, but there's a bank robbery going on downtown.
Could
we just get our copy now so we can go stop those robbers?
Get it to go real
people's
quick.
lives are in your hands. What's your Dale? Is it Dale? Oh, it's Al. I thought it said Dale. I'm sorry.
He's looking at a name tag that's not existent.
An invisible, yes. I was looking at an invisible name tag.
And Dale was the name.
It's Al. It's Al.
Oh, it
I'm
is
sorry.
Al.
His lanyard
Vision's
fell
port.
over the name tag.
Yeah, just wrap it up for me, and I'll get back
Thanks.
to my
You're
job.
saving lives.
Saving
I'll
lives.
let those hostages know that Al, you're a stand-up guy, Al.
You, sir, are a true American hero.
He watches the news. There's nothing about a bank robbery. There's just these three guys that dressed up as police officers.
It's like, son of a bitch!
Also, I think it was in France or something, some video game chain, or maybe it was just like a department store. I think it might have been a department store, was doing a midnight release for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really think about department stores when they think of selling video games, but they do sell them.
Oh yeah, totally. And they did this big publicity stunt for their midnight release, where they had a few employees put ski masks on and grab some fake guns and run in the store like they were robbing the store.
Were the security guards at least in on this?
Probably the security guards, but the police weren't. The local police weren't.
Somebody called the police?
Someone called the cops and was like, holy shit,
There's an
someone's
armed
robbing the
robbery.
store. Yeah, there's mad people in there, and they're like holding them all up with guns.
They're like, we want all the money in this Sears. We know you just sold a tractor and a bed awning.
And it was like, just as these three officers, quote unquote, were leaving the store, they're like, officer, help! I gotta go. Bank robbery downtown.
Bank robbery. No, I don't have time for this robbery. I got another robbery to get to.
Good luck, guys. I'll call the cops. I mean, I'll call the boss for you.
See ya!
But yeah, the cops, needless to say, were pretty upset.
We could be stopping real bank robberies.
Well, no, they said like things could have went a lot worse.
Like
they were
could've
pissed.
shot
Like,
them.
yeah, we could have killed these employees. The
These-
fuck were you thinking?
This is not a joke. Your guns are fake, but ours are not. And that would be years of therapy that I would have to go through.
I don't ever want to see this happen again. Do you understand me? He's talking to the manager store, and he's like, yes, I do. So was that Xbox or PlayStation? Oh, PlayStation, please. There you go, sir. All right, thanks.
Oh,
My
God.
DLC is on the receipt, or is it in the game? Or... Everyone's buying this fucking game.
So the Emmys happened recently.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. Some people noticed.
I didn't. I wasn't one of those people.
Well, I was watching football, and I looked ahead and was like, oh, the Emmys are on. And then when they came on, I kind of started watching reruns of The Simpsons.
A wise choice.
Yeah. Actually, it was weird. It was an episode. One of them was an episode that I missed from last season. So
Craig's like, did you hear about the Emmys?
So it was new
the,
to
the
me.
Emmys happened, and And while they happened, I was watching an episode of Simpsons. It was pretty cool because this is what happened in The Simpsons, and let's talk about that. Now, do you have a news story too, Nathan? Actually, yes. While the Emmys were happening, I was, checking my Facebook, and apparently, there's a lot of people that are pissed off at Obama. There's a lot of people that are pissed off that they can't find a girl or a guy for them.
Yeah, you're giving Facebook news updates.
There's a lot of people who eat food and take pictures of it.
News on Facebook, Instagramming. No,
this is our news section is now just going to be we're going to go through our news feed and tell you what our friends and family are up to. Jessica's going to bed. Good night, everyone.
If we give fake names, and we should do that sometime.
No, that would be so mean.
They're most of the people that liked us.
We lose 100 likes on our page.
Immediately. No, we're not going to do that at all. You don't know any of the results from the Emmys?
Nope.
I'll give you the nominees for Outstanding
Emmys
Drama
is
Series.
TV, yeah.
TV.
Oh, I do know that South Park won.
Okay.
For Best Dramatic Series.
No. Outstanding.
What episode was it that they won it for? The James Cameron one, Raising the Bar.
Oh, yeah. They did. I had that in here somewhere. I was trying to find it. Outstanding Drama Series, the nominees were Breaking Bad, Downton Abbey, Game of Thrones, Homeland, House of Cards, and Mad Men. Who do you think won?
Breaking Bad.
That is correct. They won. I would say Game of Thrones.
That would have been my second guess. I'm not saying that I would have voted for either of those. I'm just saying that's my guess. I don't really watch any of those series, so I wouldn't feel comfortable voting for
That was kind
of
of a no-brainer. Everybody knew that was going to win. It's the final season. But, I mean, Game of Thrones had the Red Wedding. So, and round 2, Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series. It's your favorite actor. The choices are...
It's my favorite actor?
Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. Hugh Bonneville from Downton Abbey. I can already scratch that guy off. Nobody knows who he is.
Downton Abbey is a huge show.
Yeah, and
it's very popular.
Is it in America though?
I think a lot of people, watch it. What with like BBC online and like we have a BBC channel now, don't we?
And it is on PBS.
People watch Doctor Who like it's their fucking job, dude.
That's true, but I mean, I feel like I can understand the Doctor Who, but not really. What was that show with Courtney Cox? Cougar Life or?
Yeah, Cougarland, I think.
Cougarland,
It's that takes place in the same universe as Scrubs because Ted was in that episode. Yeah. So fucking cool.
Yeah.
Never watched Cougarland, but I had to watch the episode with
you watched
Ted.
That episode.
I didn't watch the whole episode. I just watched the parts with Ted. But it was fucking brilliant, dude. If you're a Scrubs fan, go check it out.
Yeah.
Ted was in another show, and it was
High five!
awesome. I am a huge fan of when you find out that franchises take place in the same universe because a character showed up or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of those in places.
Oh, there is. There is. You don't even know the half of it.
I'll continue with with the nominees. Kevin Spacey in House of Cards, Damian Lewis from Homeland, John Hamm from Mad Men, or Jeff Daniels from The Newsroom.
None of them are my favorite actors, but I assume you're talking about Jeff Daniels from The Newsroom.
He won! He fucking won! Are you kidding me?
When we talked about Jeff Daniels, is that on iTunes, or was that one of our lost episodes?
iTunes.
Okay. Was that like our first episode or something?
It was one of the first ones. It was last year, right?
Yeah, of course it was last year.
So, yeah, I think it's actually in probably the launch episode.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of The Newsroom.
It is, yeah. I don't understand it. I don't understand how people love it. I don't understand how he beat Kevin Spacey, John Hamm, or Bryan Cranston. All three of them.
Well, I'm sure he's going to win some more awards for Dumb and Dumber 2, which is being filmed right now with him and Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Basically, that's all I really wanted to get to. Fuck the Emmys, and it's so boring. Neil Patrick Harris is cool, though.
Well, while we're talking about TV, last week, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. premiered. I haven't watched it yet.
Me neither. I did hear about it.
Fox just picked up Gotham.
Excuse me?
A series starring a young Jim Gordon.
What?
Fox has picked up a series called Gotham, which will not feature Batman,
yes,
but a young Jim Gordon.
That's so good to hear.
Pretty
Don't
awesome.
fuck it up, Fox.
At the same time,
give it at least 2 seasons before you decide to cancel it prematurely.
they say that it's not going to feature Batman and everything, but it will feature some classic Batman villains. To which I reply, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I don't know. Okay, like there can be some. I would be okay with Penguin being in it. I would be okay with Selena Kyle being in it. Not Catwoman, but pre-Catwoman Selena Kyle. But it doesn't make sense. Batman villains are supposed to come about after Batman.
Right.
But, like, the Joker shows up, Scarecrow shows up, some shit like that. It's like, what the fuck?
You've seen that happens?
No, but I'm saying...
It should?
No, they said that villains are going to be in it. Classic Batman
Without
villains will be in
Batman,
it.
though.
But this is pre-Batman, so most of his villains shouldn't be around.
Yeah, Batman created the Joker. Two-Face happened after Batman.
It has to happen after Batman, or else it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like I said, Penguin, I would be okay with. Selena Kyle as just like some other character that's not Catwoman yet, I would be okay with. No, not okay with. So there's some characters that I would be okay with, but seriously,
how established is Gordon?
And then so Gordon's going to be a young Gordon?
A cop or...
So that means Jim Gordon's young. We see the Penguin. So why the fuck isn't the Penguin as old as Jim Gordon is when Batman... You know what I mean?
Right.
When Batman's fucking with Jim Gordon and shit.
These are things you have to set aside when watching this and just, put it out the door.
No. I'll just set aside the watching this if that's the route they take.
If that's the route? Well, we'll see.
But I love Jim Gordon, so if they do this right, this could be awesome.
They show the Penguin, but it's the Penguin as a kid. He's like a 12-year-old. Wah, 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 wah.
Then it would just be unnecessary and ridiculous.
Cameo!
And Jim Gordon puts a coat around his shoulders. It's going to be okay.
No, it's not.
Young little Cobblepot.
Whenever I think of Penguin, the first image that pops into my mind is Danny DeVito's. Just him as a person, he looks like a penguin. They really didn't need much makeup on that little troll.
Oh, jeez.
The UK has gotten really strict with their internet. They're trying to pass this bill that blocks all esoteric material.
The fuck is that shit?
The fuck you will, fucking UK. And the worst part about this is that there's other countries that are trying to follow suit. Canada wants to join. Australia is another one that's going to be behind it. When do you think the U.S. is going to be behind this?
Dude, that makes me... Wait, Canada wants to do that?
Yeah, they're in talks of trying
What the fuck is the point, dude? That's bullshit. They say it's to keep children from stumbling upon porn.
Yeah,
but then put filters for porn. The fuck is this esoteric content?
That means all religious.
Yes, dude. Anything
websites, anything with violence in it. That means a lot of YouTube content is going to get blocked. Anything with bad language will now fit the bill.
Dude, they could make that mean anything. Like the wording
really
is
that's
too vague.
So vague.
But even just taking the wording at face value, yes, esoteric content. So it looks like your little Wiccan homepage is getting taken down if you've got one of those.
Yeah. What did the Wiccans ever do? To deserve that?
That means you're.
I mean, I don't agree with your views on life, but I still agree that you should be able to express them freely.
That means your philosophy in Frank Miller's Sin City is getting booted off the search. It's bullshit, dude. That's total fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's
esoteric content.
It's really.
Have they never heard of Anonymous?
Yeah,
dude, Anonymous is gonna have a field day with that shit.
If anybody from Anonymous is listening.
Have a field day with that shit.
Yeah, exactly. We give you the full green light, and if we find out that
you
happens...
You have fair point permission.
You have scare points permission, too.
We gave you the green light. It's
go ahead. Thumbs up. Go ahead, man. Have your way with that. Sometimes you do some douchey shit, but for the most part, you're for the better of the internet community.
Yeah, stop being a douche to the people in Anonymous that are douches.
Yeah. Anonymous I'm okay with them so far.
Yeah, Anonymous is pretty cool. I'm down with Anonymous. Wait, you're not supposed to... Well,
we strike that from the record.
I guess you can't be down with Anonymous if you're saying... That's like saying you're punk rock.
Yeah.
It's against the rules.
Also, I don't want anybody to get the impression that we might be secret members of Anonymous, because we certainly are not. I can't hack my way out of a paper bag.
Right.
I can't
You
even
can't
edit
even
this
edit a
podcast. Like, yeah, exactly. But on a serious note, if you guys want to get behind us,
Not us, but esoteric content in general.
Did I say us? Did I say us? Oh, apparently I did. Yeah.
Even if you're like, yo, fuck these guys.
If you agree with us and you want to say fuck this esoteric banning, especially people from the UK, this is pertinent to you now. Go to change.org and you can sign a petition.
Is that not religious persecution right there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, right there.
Right there.
To be like, we're not allowing that content on the internet.
It's all kinds of persecutions.
It is, and it's not cool.
We are free,
and the people won't stand for it. My favorite thing just happened.
And that is... Oh, wait. Let me guess. Stepping out the door on a cool autumn day with your hoodie on and your iPod on.
Nope. That's pretty cool, too, but I mean...
I thought that was your favorite thing ever.
Nope. Dinosaur feathers were found preserved in amber.
I saw that. Awesome, though. Yeah, that is really cool.
Jurassic Park, here we come. I got my pre-sale tickets.
Actual feathers, right?
Yes.
The amber.
Well,
amber?
Pieces of feathers, because the amber is small little chunks like the size of size of an M&M.
Little amber chips.
So it couldn't fit a whole feather in there.
That would be sweet, though, if you found a huge piece of amber with a giant feather in it.
That would be pretty awesome. I would wear it around my neck at all times.
I would.
And harness the power of the dinosaurs.
You have this giant boa made of dinosaur feather.
Yeah, boy.
You would be like, that's the most rare piece of clothing in history.
No one would know what it was until I told them.
And they'll be like, yeah, right, that's probably like eagle feather. How many purple eagles do you know?
Actually, they were gray, black, white, and red, I think.
Those are the colors of the dinosaurs?
Yes, sir.
Is it possible that it was altered by being in this amber?
No, it was preserved.
No, altered by the amber itself, mixing with the amber.
Nope.
Are you sure?
That's what preserved means, Craig.
All intact. But they don't know that. Maybe that's
Who doesn't
just
know
what
that?
They think. The people that are saying it's preserved.
They're scientists. I'm just going to take their word for it. I'm not a scientist.
This is not a B movie.
Craig, there's fact-checking, and there's being a scientist with a budget to set up a counter-experiment to disclaim another scientist's hypothesis. Okay?
Did he do all of that?
You want to fund it with our Fairpoint profits?
What Fairpoint profits?
From all the Fairpoint Pro members.
Oh, yeah!
Just the facts. Freddy Krueger is a widely popular horror icon played by Robert Englund and is the star of the horror franchise Nightmare on Elm Street. Created by Wes Craven, he has been terrorizing fans' nightmares since 1984. Wizard magazine ranked him as the 14th greatest villain of all time, and deservedly so. Whether it's by fear or some sick admiration, it's no wonder he's earned a place in all of our hearts.
Well said there, Nathan.
As we said, he was created by Wes Craven.
Fucking Krueger.
Why did you wait until I started talking to say that?
Oh, because I had the mic wasn't near my face.
Wes Craven named him after one of his childhood bullies.
Yeah, that was like Fred Krueger was a childhood bully.
Yeah, one of the few inspirations. There's also...
And he was like, you know what? I bet you that guy grew up to become a child molester. And then they're like, child molester's a little much. Okay, he's a child murderer.
Do you think Wes Craven
Much
actually...
better.
Wes Craven didn't actually say that, though. Let's just put that out there.
I'm just, I'm...
Somewhere Fred Krueger is listening, and he's like, what the fuck?
I'm just a dick.
I was 8, dude. I was a dick. I'm sorry.
You know what happened?
Wes Craven's an asshole.
You know what
As if
happened?
it wasn't bad enough making people fear my name. Now you're telling people I'm probably a child molester now?
You know what happened? One day, a kid I was trying to take his lunch money from punched me in the nose. I've been straight ever since.
He's like, I don't bully kids anymore. I'm an
Straight and
adult
narrow.
now. I bully adults.
Yeah.
You fucking dick.
Hey, Johnson, give me your lunch.
Noogie. Wet Willie.
Bet you're gonna look stupid for that big meeting now. Actually, there was stories that Wes Craven read about people dying in their sleep, like saying they have terrifying nightmares, and then there was one specific story with a kid who it was said he had crazy nightmares and he was keeping himself awake, and then when the parents finally gave him the sleeping pills and he fell asleep, he died in his sleep, and he was thrashing throughout the entire night.
What?
And he heard that story, and that's how he gave the power to Freddy Krueger. That's where he got that from. I thought that was really cool.
He's also quoted as being inspired by the song Dreamweaver by Gary Wright.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And did you ever hear that story of the freaky old hobo man that scared him as a kid?
Yes.
I guess he was just hanging out in his apartment with his older brother, and he went and looked out the window, and there was this kind of creepy old Freddy-looking man. I think he said he was wearing the sweater, and he was walking down the street, and he stopped, like he knew someone was watching him and looking at him, and then looked straight at Wes Craven, little 9-year-old Wes Craven.
Little tiny Wes.
Lil Wes.
Little Wes.
Any rappers looking for a name out there? We gave you your
and
new
your
name.
name's Wesley.
Lil Wes.
If your name's Wesley something. So is this old weird homeless guy in a sweater, a red and green sweater?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think maybe that's like the situation you described reminds me of like the first time you see Freddy Krueger in the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to be like, reminds me of my dad or something. I don't know.
It reminds me of my 7th birthday party.
No disrespect to Mr. Lewis. This is like a hypothetical dad, like not
real dad.
Yeah, not Craig's actual dad. So he looked out the window, saw this creepy homeless dude, and the homeless dude looked right at him when he realized someone was looking at him, and he I guess he said that he thrust his head forward as if to say like, yeah, I'm looking at you, son.
I got you, kid.
And
got you in my
and it
sights.
scared him. So, and then the freaky homeless man started walking up to the front door of the apartment building, and like he could hear him walk in, like down the stairs.
Yeah.
So he was like freaked out, and his brother ran into the hallway with a baseball bat, but his Freddy was gone. Proto Freddy was gone.
Freddy was just gone, man.
It's crazy. Sometimes I think about that and I wonder like, who was that homeless dude? Like, what became of him? Is he dead now? Is he still
most likely
alive?
I mean, Wes Craven's like in his 70s.
Yes,
so
he's probably this old homeless dude's probably dead.
This guy probably died around the time the movie was getting made.
But I wonder what's his story.
He was a drifter.
You say that like that's like that. So there is no story. He was a drifter. Well, fuck. He probably has a ton of story.
I was about to give his backstory. He's a vet from Korea. Couldn't land a job outside. He kept having shell shock flashbacks of the POW camps. Basically people didn't want him in town. So
I think you're just making stuff
up.
No,
they dragged.
Call me a cynic.
They hauled him in and they like hosed him down and he started having flashbacks and stuff. And he's at the sheriff's department and he starts beating up the sheriffs. And then like before you know it, he's having a standoff in an old closed liquor shop. Or was it an ammunition shop? I think it was an ammunition shop. And his colonel finally came and talked him down.
So this was all like right before Wes. So he was understandably agitated when Wes Craven saw him walking down the street.
Right. He went to special army jail. He went to special army jail, and then he got out, and there's Wes Craven's little punk looking at him in the window. He's like, "Hey, what are you looking at? I see you, Charlie.
Yeah, I'm ugly. You would be too.
You've seen the things that I've seen."
So yeah, those are the foundations of Freddy right there.
There's one more. Did you hear his inspiration behind the claw?
Maybe.
It's nothing special. It's actually extremely terrifying. He watched his cat.
Which is it, Craig?
It's extremely terrifying. He watched his cat claw the side of his couch one night, and that's where he got the idea for it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I mean, it depends. He probably owned a leather couch. So
depends on if you're allergic to cats, whether how terrifying this story really is.
It depends how attached to your furniture you are. So, Nathan, originally in the script, Wes Craven had it set that he was a child molester. But because there was a rash of child molestation cases going on at the time, they didn't want to, seem like that.
Like they were exploiting it.
Yeah, like they were exploiting it. So they switched it to just a child murderer. And they thought that would be better, apparently.
And then a bunch of children got killed.
And then they're like, fuck, cancel the show.
Can we just make him a friendly babysitter? Then they just made him into just kind of a dick. And
yeah,
they're like,
just kind of a...
He doesn't actually hurt anybody. He's just kind of a grouchy asshole, yeah. Who invades your dreams and is just really passive-aggressive.
The guy goes to throw something away in a garbage can, and he misses. And he's like, ha ha, nice shot. No wonder why you don't play basketball.
Clearly those dreams aren't going anywhere, pal.
And then there is a story about a serial asshole.
Just played on people's insecurities in their dreams.
Just going around doing that, so they wanted to scrap that. And they're like, maybe he could just be the kid's bus driver. And he's just a, happy, friendly man.
They did kind of make him a child molester in the newer one, though. I really got that vibe.
In the remake?
In the remake, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they just took that and they felt like they could go to that again. Because he was a child molester and not a murderer. Mm-hmm. He was a murderer when he was a dead guy. I don't really want to talk about the remake, but that was one of the things I liked about it, that he was a molester instead. Not that he was a molester.
That's one of the one things I liked about it, the elements of child abuse.
No, not at all. Not at all. But that they decided to go with...
Yeah, it makes for a stronger villain.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody that you could hate more.
Yeah. And is scary and uncomfortable
by going through his backstory and make it think that he was framed. Okay, nope, we're not doing this. Also, Wes Craven didn't really expect the movie to make much money. So, when they got finished, they scrapped everything and whatnot. And when they decided they were going to make a sequel, turned out they had to do a completely new sculpt for Freddy because they didn't have the original.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, they didn't have the original makeup and mask, so they had to make a new one for Freddy's Revenge. And about the actual creation of his face, being burnt like that and the way it looks, did you know that the guy that created it got the inspiration when he was just playing around with a pepperoni pizza? And he was literally just rearranging the cheese and pepperoni on it, and he was like, fuck, that's awesome. That's going to be his face.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, right? Nice little anecdote to send you off.
He made a little Pizza Head face. So originally, Freddy Krueger was supposed to look like Pizza Head and Steve.
He had a pizza cutter instead of a claw.
Welcome to my world, bitch! Oh no!
Your mouth says no, 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 but my tongue says yes, yes, yes.
All right, so let's get into this biography. Frederick Charles Krueger was born on November 12th, 1938, to Amanda Krueger, who was a nun that worked up at the Weston Hills Mental Hospital.
The asylum, yeah.
Yeah.
One fateful night, she...
Was it Christmas? Or was it around Christmas or something? I don't remember.
I didn't see anything about that.
I feel like it was Christmas. She was up there for Christmas.
Yep, Christmas holiday. There we go. She wasn't just forcibly raped. She was gang raped.
By like 100 maniacs.
Of the asylum, so...
Yeah, not just random maniacs that broke into the asylum.
Yeah,
and
of course.
You guys got any nuns?
It's going on, and she's just like, I really wish I didn't. I said no to working this vacation.
Yeah, let's not crack jokes about a woman getting gang raped.
A fake woman, though.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Can we crack jokes about the demon seed inside her belly?
See, that's interesting. Okay, so there's no way that Freddy Krueger was actually spawned from 100 different dudes. That's not how reproduction works.
Yeah, obviously he's just one lucky guy. One of the maniacs, but a maniac nonetheless.
Yes, a maniac nonetheless.
His blood was bound to be evil.
Was it though? Freddy was just a normal guy, right?
Yeah, well, he was a creep.
He wasn't normal by any stretch of the
He was a child murderer, so he wasn't.
But you know what I mean? There wasn't actually anything mythically special about him before he died.
Oh no, he was just a human.
Yeah.
I mean, and even when
he
wasn't
bring him destined to be or anything. He was born to this nun and given up for adoption. and he was adopted by an abusive alcoholic named Mr. Underwood.
It's just like his life just keeps getting shittier and shittier.
Why do they don't they don't like? Well, I guess this was like in the 40s or 50s. I was gonna say they don't do like
but
evaluations
why
of
didn't
the
she
parents.
why didn't she keep her kid?
Right?
It was a nun. She's like, if anybody can raise this child to be an okay thing, it's me.
Well, she was probably broken mentally and
I guess
emotionally and physically scarred.
She was unfit to be a parent because of what had happened to her.
I can't imagine my psyche would be very intact if I was gang raped by 100 maniacs.
And then,
even just 100 like rationally tempered men. I still think it would break me.
How unlucky do you have to be for 100 rationally tempered men to decide to rape someone? Again, no more rape jokes. Okay, skipping through. I'm sure the sight of the baby didn't like make her forget that this horrible thing happened to her.
Yeah, she couldn't separate that from the event, I'm sure.
So,
well, luckily this adoption agency paired him up with a guy that was willing to teach him how to torture animals and like drink and beat the shit out of him.
I don't know if he so much taught him how to torture animals, but he was the kind of guy to fall asleep in his chair with his Zippo next to him and his hunting catalog next to that. So I'm sure he found his way to trap some squirrels and stuff and then light them on fire.
I'm sure he did.
Which, as we all know, leads to
Do you think he
children.
cracked little jokes, too?
He's like, oh, yeah, you're looking hot. Roasting your nuts on an open fire. Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha. That's not Freddy.
Yeah, that's not Freddy, but making little cheap shots at the squirrels, little puns and shit.
He only has one. Roasting your nuts on an open fire.
That's why he hasn't moved on from squirrels yet. He hasn't come up with any good one-liners.
Yeah, he knows that he's just a witty man.
Freddy just had a notebook from like junior high, and he'd just write his like witty one-liners, like if I ever kill somebody with a power glove, this is what I'm gonna say.
Like he traps a fox, and he's like, "You're in my world now, bitch."
So naturally, his abusive father was the first human being he had ever murdered.
Yes. Okay.
And,
that makes sense. Kill your abusive dad.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
It's a basic trope.
And then, as he got older, he had a conscience. He was trying to live a normal life. He didn't want to kill people. He did want to, but you know what I mean? He didn't actually want to. Like, he knew that was wrong, and he tried to live a normal life. And he married a woman named Loretta, and they eventually had a daughter named Catherine.
So yeah, after he had his little family, he was trying to live a normal life, but that doesn't work. Anybody who's watched Dexter knows you can't become normal if you're a serial killer.
The Dexter writers say it must be true.
Yeah, so nature won out, and he went on a little 20-person rampage of child killings on Elm Street. Yeah, it must have been Elm Street.
Well, it wasn't like one night. Like, a rampage makes it seem like he was just like,
a murderous
fuck
rampage.
Kids! Just ran around the town just killing children.
No, he did it sneakily.
Why is no one stopping me?
No, this all happened in the span of 3 years, between 1963 and 1966.
Yeah, he would drive an ice cream truck and lure them in
creepy.
And then kidnap and murder them.
That's perfect alibi. Who wants some ice cream?
Yeah, of course, he was referred to as the Springwood Slasher in the media.
Yep.
That was, of course, the town where he lived and was murdering.
Yeah, Springwood. And he didn't live on Elm Street? Did he live on Elm Street?
Yeah.
This seems like a big street with 20 children on it.
That was the house where Nancy lived in the first movie.
That was his house.
Yeah.
So eventually he got tired of just killing children and he decided to kill his wife.
Well, she discovered what he was doing.
So she had to be stopped, obviously.
I'm about to say he had no choice, but of course he had a choice. I don't condone killing your wife or anyone for that matter.
He could have turned himself in, Nathan, but
he definitely had a choice.
Was not happening. He was like, I'm going to continue to do's what I do's.
Say he killed his wife right in front of his daughter, Catherine. And,
what a dick.
Of course,
a dick.
It's kind of odd that a child killer at that didn't think to then kill the witness to that murder.
Right.
And just let her live, and she was like, I'm going to the cops.
He was like, oh, okay, honey, just be home by dinner.
She went to the cops.
And then
they came and arrested him.
I didn't think she was serious.
Of course, as most of us know, he was released on a technicality and was not acquitted.
and that's why the justice system doesn't work here in America.
And the parents of Elm Street banded together, hunted him down, and burned him alive in 1971.
Vigilante-style justice.
And that's the end of the Freddy Krueger story. He was no more. It's a pretty creepy, disturbing story, you know?
Yeah, he's one of the world's most terrifying serial killers, and I'm just
that.
glad he's gone. Honestly, the world's a better place. So, this has been Scare Point.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
No,
there's actually a lot more. That's just the end of the first chapter in his life and afterlife. As Freddy's burning alive in his dying moments, the dream demons come to him. They offer this dying man immortality in exchange for being their agent. So,
which is
promptly,
what they do. Like, they recruit all sorts of awful people and give them powers and immortality. And yeah, they're dream demons. So I guess they give all of them the ability to, like, break down the walls between dreams and reality.
Yeah.
Why haven't we seen anyone else? Like, why just Freddy?
Freddy's the only good candidate.
Maybe, like, they've been around for, like, thousands of years. So it's not like there's, like, hundreds of people walking around with this ability. Like, there have been maybe other people throughout history.
But it's just one at a time.
Yeah. I mean, a year for them is probably like a day, you know what I mean, for us. So it's like...
Until somebody finally overcomes that dream demon.
And not even necessarily that, but it's like, to them, like, the fact that it's been 30 years and they haven't picked a new one is nothing. You know, they've been around for eons.
Right. They've been around
like,
since the beginning
we'll
of
get
time.
around. We'll make some more soon.
Since the beginning of humanity. But, so, you know, they give him this choice, and promptly he decides to repent and try to make it to heaven and rejects their offer. The end. No, this guy's a douchebag. Of course he accepted their offer.
He's like, wait a minute. I get to keep killing people?
And I have powers?
And no law there's no law that I must respect?
I shall reach you.
Yeah, so he lives in the dream realm.
And he made a promise to take vengeance on all the children of the people that killed him.
Oh yeah, that was like a personal vendetta.
Yeah, personal vendetta. And get them where they can't save them.
But before that... He actually, his first act of business was returning and haunting his arresting officer. Lieutenant Tim Blocker.
I thought you were going to say Lieutenant Dan.
No, not why. Lieutenant Dan.
We're mixing universes here again.
Jim Gordon.
So Forrest Gump happened around the same time as a Springwood slasher?
So he kills his arresting officer when he's put to sleep at his dentist office.
What happened to the dentist? Makes you wonder. Oh, yeah, he's now Freddy Krueger.
Use the sleeping gas. They didn't even give a shit about the dentist. Oh, yeah, exactly. He did it in his dreams.
Did it in the dreams.
And then he also terrorized Blocker's family. He also went after a girl that stood him up for prom in high school.
Well, I mean, you got to get the important stuff taken care of first.
Yeah, he was like, I'll get to these kids from Elm Street. Let them grow up a little bit.
You said I was a weirdo because I killed little small animals.
That is not a valid reason to not go to prom with someone.
So do you think, like,
doesn't mean I'm not cool.
In her dream, he had, like, a prom set up, you know, and they were like, he's like, I'm your date now, bitch.
Well, we would know if we watched Freddy's Nightmares, but I haven't, so I don't.
Yeah, was that the 80s show?
Was it the 80s or was it the 90s?
Could be the 90s.
I don't remember.
The cheesy
90s.
anthology series that he hosted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, most of them didn't have anything to do with Freddy, but he would just host the show and host these scary stories. But there were a few, like 3 of them or so, that were actual Freddy stories. And then there was the Saturday morning cartoon series, too, which, if you take that into account...
Like, think about it. Freddy Krueger had a Saturday morning cartoon series.
No, he didn't. I'm just making shit up.
I will, like, it's at that point that I'd be like, okay, Kid and Play is acceptable.
They had a Tales from the Crypt cartoon series.
I knew that. Yeah, that was still weird. Childish Tales from the Crypt versions.
Can you imagine what, like, a 90s Nightmare on Elm Street cartoon would have been? Oh, my God. Like, early 90s. That would have been so bad.
Yeah, for real. I gotta help you get out of the dream world, kid. I'm deciding to not kill anymore.
It'd be like Beetlejuice, yeah.
But you know what? Beetlejuice...
Freddy's Nancy's friend, suddenly.
Beetlejuice wasn't quite as psychotic murderer as Freddy, so I guess
not quite as, but Beetlejuice was a pretty fucked up antagonist who probably was willing to kill them. Definitely wasn't Lydia's friend. Wanted to marry Lydia against her will.
Well, was that in the cartoon though?
No, that was in the
I was
movie.
about to say, in the movie,
cartoon,
that's what
he was
it was.
a friend.
He was not a good guy. If you get my drift here.
Well, anyway, we're not talking about Beetlejuice. We're talking about Freddy.
The cartoon
Well,
was done
that
well.
would be a cool crossover. Holy shit, dude.
Beetlejuice vs. Freddy.
Michael Keaton and Robert Englund both reprising those roles, dude, for like... Dude, give us a short film, anything. That'd be dope. A commercial, yo. Super Bowl commercial.
Does it end
that shit would be so dope.
Does it end with Freddy saying Beetlejuice, 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 and banishing him?
I guess that would be too easy.
Yeah.
But he's already in the dream world, so it's like, can't banish me from here. I can't do Beetlejuice, but...
That was a spot on Keaton. Jesus, man.
Well, as you said, Freddy eventually turned his sights on the children of the parents that burned him alive.
Because, he's already completed the important steps of his list. He's like, next stop, the mailman. Next stop, all the children of the people that burned me.
Yeah, he killed off most of them. There was one girl, Nancy Thompson, that seemed to be a persistent thorn in his side on a few occasions.
Ooh, that Nancy.
There were different occasions where teens were able to survive or momentarily defeat him.
Right,
but
to get fucked up again.
Even to this day, I mean, he was sent to hell. He was killed, sent to hell. But so long as people still remember him and are afraid of him,
that's where
he's able to
his power.
Introduce himself back into their dreams.
Himself into mythology, and then he's got new kids to slaughter.
Which is why, for a while, they were suppressing him by keeping the teens on a drug called Hypnosil.
A
dream suppressant.
For a while. Finally, he finds his daughter, and he's haunting her and everything. And she gets the best of him and finally banishes him for good. And it's just fitting. She sent him to jail, almost, and then she finally killed him off as a dream monster. But you'd think Freddy would stop there, but you'd be wrong.
Yeah, it definitely didn't put a stop to him. He
just became forgotten. And Freddy had a sneaky plan of continuing his terror to make people remember him again. He got inside the dreams of one Jason Voorhees, the historic killer at Camp Crystal Lake, who was finally put to rest once and for all. He was creepy. He got into the dream of him, pretended to be his mother, and told him to go to Elm Street and start killing in hopes that,
totally manipulated him.
In hopes that his name would be brought back up and then he could get his power back.
People would see the killings on Elm Street and start talking about Freddy again. Yeah. And I think
it was working.
Dude, Freddy vs. Jason is one of my favorite movies from both franchises.
Really?
I fucking love it. A lot of people argue with me about that, but
I wouldn't say favorite, but I do really enjoy it. I think it was a good movie for what it was. It was a fun slasher.
I thought it was exactly what it should be. The cinematography was great. It respected both the characters and the mythology.
Yeah, it didn't.
So many people
really didn't make you feel stupid.
The complaints they level against it are like, it wasn't scary. Well, no shit, it wasn't scary.
Dude,
what do you expect?
Yeah,
We're watching Freddy versus Jason.
If you were to watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street or the original Friday the 13th as an adult, you wouldn't be scared either.
But regardless, this isn't a movie that's aiming to be scary.
No,
it's about Freddy Krueger fighting Jason Voorhees. It's just aiming to be cool in a scary way. It's scary-esque.
Fans.
Yes, exactly.
That's all they want is a bunch
service.
of nerdgasms. Fan service.
And I thought it did great. I love the cinematography in the movie. I think it was awesome. And I also think it's great that Freddy won.
Oh, whoa. Did he now?
Well, yeah.
I seem to remember it differently. Jason was coming out of the lake carrying Freddy's head, as in triumphant.
And Freddy winks at the camera.
So? He doesn't have a body anymore.
That's another thing. So many people are like, Jason won. He was carrying Freddy's head. And I'm like, first of all, no. If Freddy winks, that means the most basis of interpretation should be that it's not over. And Freddy, that at the very least it's a draw.
Freddy's
but beyond that, think about this for a second. Freddy's severed head winks. That means Jason isn't carrying anybody's severed head out of the water. It's a fucking dream. Freddy's severed head can't wink in the real world.
Oh,
you
so
dumb
shits.
They're
still in the real world.
Fuck you, Friday the 13th fans. Not all of you. Just the ones that tell me that Jason beat Freddy.
So, okay, I propose a new theory Both of them die. It's a draw, and then they wake up in their nightmare dreams. Their dead dreams.
It was intended to be a draw, but as far as I see it, Freddy's got Jason in a dream there. Sure, it's not over. He obviously didn't kill Jason if he's in a dream, but like...
I believe in the draw because he does wink, and it isn't a dream, but there's no body.
Yeah. But Freddy, it doesn't matter if there's a body. Freddy can be whatever he wants in a dream.
Oh, pish
He's
posh.
tricking Jason into dreaming that he's carrying...
That he won.
You always dream about your own insecurities and your own crises.
Right, like being in the water.
And fighting a dream demon. I'm sure Jason, if he was going to dream after that, would probably have a dream about Freddy.
True.
Regardless of whether Freddy could invade your dreams.
Okay, so...
I'm sure Freddy versus Jason was a very stressful time for both of them. It's probably a very stressful time in their lives.
I'm sure it was. They were going through some shit.
Yeah, under a lot of pressure and...
So just to be clear, I will say that I'm in the draw camp, realistically, about who was the victor. But I understand the Freddy claims.
Okay.
So...
Yes, because once you take into account that he can't wink in real life...
Yeah, it all goes out the window.
Yeah, Jason's in a dream.
That's best case scenario.
Exactly.
If anybody doesn't know that owns the Freddy vs. Jason DVD, on the second disc, there's a little Easter egg with an alternate unmade ending.
Oh, is this with the storyboards and stuff?
Yeah.
And the director talking about it and stuff?
Yeah, if you pop in the second disc, go to deleted and alternate scenes, then click the arrow up. You should see a blood spot that, highlights there. And if you click that, an alternate ending starts where at Camp Crystal Lake, it turns into a hand and takes both of them to hell.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Why? I would have been pretty pissed watching this movie if suddenly a giant hand came out of Camp Crystal Lake and dragged them both to hell. I'd be like, what the fuck kind of an ending is that?
They're just ripping off Jason Goes to Hell at that point. But it doesn't make sense because it was Freddy's claw that was grabbing Jason's mask.
Yeah, but then when they go to hell, the idea was that the Cenobites from Hellraiser were going to be there.
Yep, and that's where they were going to have Freddy vs. Jason vs. Hellraiser.
But the actual proposed sequel was Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash.
Yes.
And so
what
that
is it?
Actually did happen after that. The
comic book
the
form,
three of
right?
those squared off. Yes, they did a comic, and then they did another sequel comic to it. And then, not long after those few showdowns with Jason and Ash from the Evil Dead series, Freddy noticed that there was someone else stealing souls. I guess, I imagine when...
What?
Yeah, they must have stolen some from Elm Street, and Freddy got pissed. That's my soul. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's my gig. What are you doing there?
He, of course, takes the souls of his victims, and it makes him more powerful. Freddy was a little pissed, investigated that, found out it was the Emperor of Outworld, Shao Kahn. And,
oh, no way! And then he was brought into the realm to fight in the Mortal Kombat tournament.
Well, yeah, he set out to invade Shao Kahn's dreams. So he showed up in one of Shao Kahn's nightmares, and Shao Kahn was not having any of that shit.
He's like,
and his will was way too strong, and he just grabbed Freddy and pulled him out into the real world and beated the ever-loving hell out of him.
Freddy was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were so much more powerful
Error
than I.
in judgment.
Ooh, I have about 500 souls. You have 3 million.
He didn't kill Freddy, though, and Freddy kind of pulled himself together and fitted himself with two, quote-unquote, demonically enhanced razor gloves.
Oh, now he just doesn't have the one glove. He's got two.
Yeah, and they're demonically enhanced.
So he's like a nightmare version of Vega from Street Fighter.
He could do all sorts of crazy shit, like magic with him and shit. And that's so he could defeat Shao Kahn. And then this was, of course, in Mortal Kombat, the new game where you can play Freddy. And I think what happened was they fucked up and did him with two gloves. And then we're like, oh shit, well, he needed two gloves.
Problem solved. Problem solved. Let's pat each other on the back and go get a pint down at Hooligans.
So if you defeat Shao Kahn and save the Earth Realm, incidentally, as Freddy, you are sent back to the Dream Realm by Nightwolf, the Native American shaman in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
And he's sort of recognized Krueger as an evil spirit and sends him back to the Dream World, and Freddy's happy because that's all he wanted to begin with.
He's content being back there. No.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I got the Mortal Kombat game before it came out with a complete edition that had Freddy Krueger included in it. I had a code for a free download that I didn't get on and expired before I got a chance to get around playing the game and putting the code in.
Well, that sucks.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not paying $10 just to get Freddy Krueger as a playable character.
It's cool. Like
but
most fighting games,
I'm glad
it gets
in the
old.
end he got what he wanted to just, go back to the dream world.
And that's kind of where we leave Freddy, I guess. I think it's interesting, too. In the movie Bride of Chucky, there is an evidence locker room that contains Chucky, Leatherface's chainsaw, Michael Myers' mask, Jason Voorhees' mask, and Freddy's glove. And
you think that's just the movie being ballsy and reaching to try to put everything in the same universe?
Sure.
We can say this. We are the worst of all these franchises. So we're just going to group us all together.
I think it was just an inside joke thing.
Yeah.
And then,
Chucky's full of them.
But you know me, I'm pop culture obsessive, and to me that means nope. That means they're in the same universe.
They all live there together.
His Freddy's glove also appears in the cabin in Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense for why Freddy versus Jason versus Ash exists.
And so it looks like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Evil Dead,
Child's Play,
and Mortal Kombat all take place.
No, and then then you got the second degree of Nightmare on Elm Street, because the DC universe is in the same realm as in this kids. That was a different universe.
Yeah, there were different universes.
Yeah, they jumped. The universe jumped. Never mind. Carry on.
If you take into account that in the comics, Evil Dead, Army of Darkness has crossed over with like Reanimator, Marvel Zombies, Darkman, Xena Warrior Princess.
Interesting.
Danger Girl, and I think now they're doing Hack Slash is crossing over with Army of Darkness. So.
Wow. Well, yeah, because I guess Army of Darkness got a lot of crossovers.
Now, I haven't even taken into account everything that all those things have crossed over with.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the 7 degrees of Nightmare on Elm Street. But in remembering this awful, awful man, my favorite and most memorable kill from him would be... Do you remember much from Dream Warriors, Nightmare 3?
Yeah. Was it the marionette one?
Yes. Freddy Krueger is the puppet master, and the boy has no control. And, in reality, he's just walking like nothing. But in the dream, it just tears his, tendons
arteries
out, and he's just, looks like he's strung up like a marionette puppet.
Yeah, that one's pretty disturbing and fucked up. And, that one's definitely one of his best kills.
He just, walks off the top of the building, the roof. That's crazy, man. Just crazy. In the same movie, my favorite one-liner from Freddy, which is a lot of people's favorite one-liner, the girl that likes to watch TV, just goes, "Welcome to prime time, bitch," and just shoves her face into the TV.
Yeah, that one's really great too. Yeah, she's just hanging from the TV.
That was super crazy. So honorable mention to that. I guess on the lighter side of Freddy, there's some cool parodies. You know how we're always making fun of that Carly Rae Jepsen song and parodying that Call Me Maybe bullshit?
You mean we did one joke about it last week?
Yeah, well, I mean, you did it so much, I felt like we've been doing it for years now. No, somebody came up with a parody called Maul Me Freddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Carly Rae Jepsen wanted to be mauled by Freddy?
No, I guess the song is basically about Freddy being outdated, out of shape, and he's not the old killer he used to be, and he wants him back. But, just lines like, "You're such a threat, dude. That Elm Street's shady. Each time kids slumber, you'll maul them, Freddy."
It's probably better to just watch it.
Yeah.
I would assume.
You could go on and go on. It's actually a really long song, and a lot of it doesn't work well, but some of it's pretty funny.
I like Nightmare on My Street by Fresh Prince.
Yes, classic.
And that actually had Robert Englund in it.
Yep, in the video.
Or no, that one didn't have Robert Englund in it. No. The one that had Robert Englund in it was the Fat Boys. I think it was called Get Ready for Freddy or something, and Freddy actually spit a verse.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and that was actually Robert Englund.
He did show up in the Dream Warriors music video.
Dream Warriors!
Yeah, and he wakes up, and it's Freddy waking up, and he's like, "Who are those guys?"
And he's cuddling with a little doll, yeah.
Yeah.
What a nightmare. Yeah. Maybe tonight you'll be gone.
Another good one that's actually, I think, off a lot of people's radars, a newer Freddy love ballad by Pricefighter Inferno, which would be
probably the only Freddy love ballad.
Yeah, it's called Elm Street Loverboy.
Yes, as you said, by the Pricefighter Inferno. Fucking awesome.
Yep. Which, if people don't know who Pricefighter Inferno is, it's Claudio Sanchez from Coed and Cambria.
Yes.
That's his side project, is Pricefighter Inferno.
And that is such a cool song. It's very poppy.
Pop,
it's
electronica pop.
And it's awesome.
It's like...
It's a love song, but it's also... It's two layers. And one layer, it's about Freddy. Another layer, it's a love song.
Right. Like, and who would have thought to ever pair that? You know,
I'll tell you who. Claudio Sanchez.
This kid's got something going on here. You know, like, he drops lines like, I'm your boyfriend now. Answer the phone, Nancy. You know, like...
It's pretty awesome, yeah.
It is. It's good. Plays it like a loner creep. That's just like
he
wanting her.
mentions Springwood High.
Yep.
Pretty great. You should check out the song. I was gonna say, even if you don't like Nightmare on Elm Street, but
it's still a good song.
If you can listen to an hour and a half long podcast about Nightmare on Elm Street, you can listen to a fucking 3-minute song about it too.
Yeah, why not? Just add that to your YouTube queue.
Also on your YouTube queue, hopefully the Fairpoint Podcast YouTube channel. There hasn't been activity there in a long time. We're busy fucking people. It's hard work getting this done. It's not hard work. It just takes up a lot of time.
Right.
Yeah. So we haven't had any YouTube clips up. Still, we'd love it if you want to
go check out the ones that are up if you haven't already.
And there will be more. There will be more. We apologize for the quality of the episode. It's not quite up to par with most of the other episodes. Quality will be kind of going back and forth, I guess, like it has done the last 23 episodes.
Yeah, but we're sometimes not in the secret room is what he's getting at.
Yeah, like I said last week, I moved recently, and it's a lot easier if we can record here sometimes. That keeps us from having to skip a week. Be happy with what you get. It's a free podcast.
Take
you
it or
ungrateful
leave it,
bastards.
jerks.
I'm not you. Not you, of course. I'm talking to the other
after,
listeners.
After you have just taken what we've given you, go and follow us on Twitter, please, because I honestly don't know if I'm tweeting to anyone.
We have one follower.
And
so.
I want to be tweeting. So, well, I don't really want to be tweeting, but I'm doing it for you. So
we do this for you.
Please
this is
follow
the thanks
us.
we get.
Give us some good hashtags to use so more people can see my tweets. I'm shameless about it.
If you don't use Twitter, totally understandable. Neither do we. Fuck Twitter.
Well, I mean, I kind of have to, but we're trying to cover all our bases on the social media.
Facebook, however, is popping. Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/FairpointPodcast.
See, we're still winning this like war here.
Yeah, we still try to keep that updated daily. If not daily, you still get a few updates a week. Yep. Even if it's just pictures.
Which, honestly, I mean, the pictures are good.
Yeah.
Sometimes I prefer that over rants. Not rants, but you know what I mean.
And get the scoop on your upcoming episodes early.
Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't you want to know what's leaking?
Well, I could think of a few reasons to not want to know what's leaking.
Yeah, I'm not talking about having the drips or anything.
Please, if you're listening to us on iTunes, we could really use the ratings, the reviews. That shit's gold,
please.
son.
Yeah,
give us your honest opinion. We're not just going to tell you to give us 5 stars, but that'd be pretty cool.
Like, if you give us 5 stars, we want to earn those 5 stars.
Yeah, tell us what we need to do to earn that 5-star rating. Share it with us on iTunes. Share it with us on Facebook. Email us at fairpointpodcast@yahoo.com.
Yeah.
You can even keep an eye on secretroommultimedia.com. There's nothing there yet, but it's
Still
in the works. It's coming. That's going to be the home base.
For all things Fairpoint, Secret Room, ScarePoint.
There's more.
And more. Trust me, there will be more.
It's an entertainment and information multimedia empire.
I like that. I like that term, empire.
For ScarePoint, I'm Nathan Capisser.
And I'm still the Crypt Keeper, Craig Lewis.
Thanks for listening.
Hey, how did you untie those chains?
plasmic phantasm.
The ghost of Belushi.
The specter of Sedgwick. Slimer.